Okay, so let's start. So I'd like to present to you our research paper, Live Learning Games, Insights from the Application of a Collaborative Hybrid Game Environment for Staff Training, which is a very specific application. Nevertheless, we get some findings which could be also useful in other application situation. So my name is Kolja Bopp. I'm a researcher and lecturer at the Games Lab in Hamburg in Germany, which is part of the Department of Media Technology at the University of Applied Science in Hamburg. And in 2017, a large vehicle manufacturer contacted the Games Lab with the task of designing and prototyping a game environment, a life escape game to be used for internal safety training. So normally such obligatory safety instruction for employees consists of hours of frontal presentation with more than 200 slides, which is not particularly exciting for the participants. Accordingly, the learning success is also relatively low. So we came up with the idea to develop a collaborative learning environment, which we then called the Live Learning Game. For the concept, we took some inspiration from life escape games, which have been used in a corporate context for some time now to empower teamwork and team communication in particular. We prototyped it as a hybrid game environment with a mixture of physical and digital game elements to create a collaborative learning experience. The setup consists of a screen and large format posters displaying information and puzzle elements, as well as a Windows PC running our Unity-based game software and a dedicated Wi-Fi router. To interact with the physical and digital game elements, we used 2 iPads, self-developed pointers with RFID near field sensors, and additionally, several stepping mats, which you could see in the picture here. The entire game was accompanied by an overarching story that took place in a fictional holodeck training lab from the company on a peaceful Palm Island. So that is also a special setting, which is not typically for safety training, but yeah, we intendedly choose this one for some different reasons. The structure was meant to be as flexible as possible to serve different location and customer needs. So that was also a development challenge to make it as flexible as possible. Because as you know, maybe the life escape rooms, normally they are fixed and also very precisely fixed on one theme. Our research paper evaluates and presents the findings from several application runs. The picture on the left side was at the vehicle manufacturer, and on the right side at the Games Lab in Hamburg. So in our research paper, we explore the question of how the combination of digital and physical game elements enriches the player's experience and contributes to learning motivation. That was our main focus. And in our paper, we discussed the findings of the evaluation concerning the team experience and gameplay fun, which was indeed very good. But we also looked to the learning outcomes. So these were kind of, yeah, some were good, especially the I can remember the content, but yeah, others were not maybe that high. So, but from all these research, we get also some very interesting results, and yeah, we put it down to 9 results. So first I give you a small summary. In summary, the results suggest that the hybrid game application has at least a stimulating effect on the participants' motivation to learn, and that content in particular can be well remembered. due to the fun of playing and the positive team experience. But in this context, it is important to link in a meaningful way the design of the game space, the narrative framework, and above all, the gameplay with the teaching content. And so our study could inform the development of future educational hybrid games, as well as contribute to the broader discussion on effective interaction design for playful learning environments. And in this context, the paper enters the field of learning motivation in relation to non-traditional educational science and psychology, especially in relation to video game engagement and intrinsic human needs. So our paper will be worth downloading and reading if you are in the academic research field of playful learning, especially gamification, game-based learning, and serious games, or human-computer interaction and educational psychology. So as we have some time left, I can dive a little bit deeper into the results. So our first result was that hybrid playful environments motivate participants to learn, but require a changed training mindset. So if we want employees to act on their own initiative, we should trust them with more than a 2-hour lecture accompanied by 200 slides. So what it surprised us was that some participants were almost irritated that they had been given so much freedom and that several requests were also made for more instructions. The results, the event character of the hybrid game environment enhances powers of recall. The results of the evaluation show that one of the greatest strengths of hybrid teaching application lies in their ability to create an immersive experience for the participants that is clearly different from the experience provided by a conventional frontal presentation or the regular work or training environment. Ludic applications such as the live learning game indicated an event with positively connotated character, which is more comparable to the experience of a shared company outing than a regular training session. So that I think really made the difference. And hybrid game environments need a high level of design clarity. The feedback we received indicated that solving the puzzle was fun. However, objects and colors should be more clearly distinguishable from one another. Particular attention should be paid to clarity, especially in time-limited learning-related game application. Short and easy to understand game rules, control instruments, color codes, objects and task divisions inspire a positive team experience. So design clarity enhances the gameplay flow and experience and contributes to the learning motivation. So please put an eye on that field. We in our case we had the problem with two, for example, with two blue colors which were really close to each other, and some people had differences. So the collaborative competitive interaction design, that is a very important result, which digs more into the game design, because the combination of competitive and collaborative game mechanics inspired social interaction consequently enhances the participants' performance. So some of the people, they wanted to be a little bit more in the competitive field, but also we wanted them to work as a team. So and also you can say in relation to the self-determination theory, A mentality of being there for one another addresses the needs for social inclusion and competence, thereby strengthening the autonomous motivation to engage with the learning content together. No one is left behind. Difficulty levels, time markers, and help systems. That is one learning is important because the level of difficulty greatly influenced the participants' level of motivation. So our research shows that it is important to allow both the automated adjustment by means of time markers and the option for the game leader to adjust the level of difficulty. I think I will be a little bit quicker because time is running. The focus, so you should have a strong link between content, gameplay, and room design, which I already mentioned. And the modular room design allowed the game space to be flexible, adapted according to the content required and the number of players. A narrative framework and coherent world design help also a lot. So incorporating appropriately designed game worlds, game characters is can foster learner skills and invest more engagement. Nevertheless, participants will also exist who likely find themselves unable to identify with this particular version of a story. And yeah, as a direct learning concept, we intend to work with more abstract graphics. Fiction requires relevance, but can also be abstract. So that's directly the following point. Consistent aesthetics of the game world or a comprehensive narrative thread can serve as a cognitive framework for problem solving. It is crucial that the narrative elements of the game have relevance throughout the learning unit. For example, that there is a meaningful connection to the actions of the players and the learning content. However, this connection can also be designed in a more abstract way. For example, a safety training session does not have to take place in a production hall, as suggested by some test participants in the feedback rounds, but can also place the participants in an unusual fictional scenario as the Palm Island, which is give them more a peaceful and peaceful mood. So the last result is hybrid media environments encourage active engagement, preferably with human guidance. From the very beginning, our clients wanted the system to be run by as few personnel as possible. In our experience, however, even a very well-made technical tutorial system and possibly supporting explanatory videos cannot replace the presence and flexibility of a qualified human game moderator. So, regarding the research question, the combination of digital and physical game elements enriched the player's experience and enhanced the collaborative learning experience in a playful and motivating way. It leads to improved content retention, positive team experiences, raised awareness, and provides many entry points for tangential learning and autonomous motivation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kolja. So, have anyone got any questions?
Lilian. Okay, Carlo, go ahead. Go ahead, Carlo.
No, okay. It's a couple of very simple questions. Your setting was designed in order to stimulate as much as possible the collaborative learning. And actually, your results just say that the team interaction is stimulated, but you do not elaborate too much about collaborative learning. So could you elaborate a little bit more to tell us which are the elements that actually are more, let's say, tend to enhance the collaborative learning with respect to a standard environment that is not an hybrid one? I mean, which are the elements that actually could provide an improvement in collaborative learning, and how you have measured it? This is my first question. The second question is, which are, in your opinion, the barriers that should be still overcome to have this kind of hybrid environment to be adopted in companies and eventually also in schools?
Okay, so I try to answer on this question. I'm not sure if I got you right, but concerning collaborative elements, I could maybe say that it's a very good approach to directly implement it in the game design. So we had we had 3 games, and the whole group was randomly put into 2 teams by our system as an introduction or first setup point. So that could also be helpful if you do it randomly, because if you let the people choose their team, then normally they stick with their well-known colleagues, and you might have a more active team conversation if they are not maybe have been the best friends before. So then in the gameplay, they have to work together, finding some cues, some special elements, like in a puzzle game we call it Enter the Code. So they had to, it's like a typical escape the room game, but they have to work together because all the different solutions were hidden in text in the poster or pictures. So we used the iPad and the RFID pointers to get the information from the physical environment. So they also have to stand up, they have to look around, they have to read some information on their own, and they have to foster the teamwork. And thirdly, our great final game could only be controlled with 2 people together. So it was a skill-based game, and also maybe that's a learning. Not everybody is so used to computer games. Sometimes skill-based games could be very tough, and some people. For some people, and also some people could take a while to get used of it and to get into it. So, but it was controlled by the 2 mats, and they have to stand on it to move the character to the left and the other one to the right. So that was also a very nice element for the team building. And the second question, what was the second question again?
It's about the barriers that should be overcome in order to have this kind of hybrid game adopted, truly adopted in companies and eventually in schools.
Okay, so there are already some escape the room games in companies. So in schools it could be, so it was about safety training. So maybe this special application is not the right environment for every topic, but we at our university we also have to do some safety training, and we have to sit there, and it's exactly the same. We get like 200 slides, and we all just check our emails and wait till the time is over, and that's a pity. So I think, yes, as the environment is a bit flexible and can be put in different locations, serve different needs, then I think the barriers are very low to just try it out in schools, in companies, in universities.